From Reuters, disgruntled lawmakers and candidates in Afghanistan's parliamentary election, marred by allegations of fraud, renewed protests over the vote this past weekend and are warning of possible violence if a fresh vote is not carried out. No results have been declared nearly 7 weeks after the election. The protests are another sign of political instability in Afghanistan, already facing a growing Taliban-led insurgency. Joined by hundreds of supporters, the candidates and members of parliament who had sought re-election denounced the election as illegal.
It's an unrepresented election. This has been the result of violations of the constitution of the country and the violation of several articles of the constitution law. People are not represented in many parts of the country. Hundreds, if not millions of people are left unrepresented in many provinces. And this is our worry that on one hand, when the law is broken, we have to fix that.
A banner carried by protesters as they marched past the palace of President Hamid Karzai and UN headquarters read, "We condemn the September 18th election and call it as illegal and ask the government to hold another election." The protesters later headed to the U.S. Embassy and delivered a resolution on the election. Lawmaker Daud Sultanzoy told Reuters, quote, "We said that the results of the election will further worsen Afghanistan's security and force millions of people to head to the mountains to take up arms. We said this election should be scrapped." The United Nations was the key organizer of the vote. The United States, which has the bulk of some 150,000 foreign troops in Afghanistan, was among major donors for the elections. Nearly a quarter of the votes for the lower house of parliament have already been disqualified by the Independent Election Commission, or IEC. Allegations of fraud have also been leveled against the IEC itself, including senior members in the commission. 2 weeks after the election, the IEC said its provincial election chief in the eastern province of Khost had been arrested over fraud complaints. The lawmakers and candidates accused IEC officials of taking bribes from winning candidates and having their own votes unfairly tossed out. The credibility of the vote will weigh heavily when President Barack Obama reviews his Afghanistan strategy in December amid rising violence and sagging public support.